Evening, we open the cold case files on the 14-year anniversary of the disappearance of 12-year-old Steven Kraft of Benton Township. He disappeared from his neighborhood back in 2001. Police had no idea back then what happened to him. And as WSBT-22's Kristen Bean tells us today, not much has changed.
If these woods could talk, they might have a story to tell.
Yeah, I would almost bet my life that was foul play.
These trees and what lies inside may know what really happened to 12-year-old Steven Kraft.
We're at least, I would say, a good mile and a half from their home. And it's all woods like this the whole way back through there.
Jason Joyner remembers frantically searching this area in the hours and days after Steven went missing.
I remember he was very rambunctious, outgoing, adventurous.
Joyner is Steven's older cousin. He lived in Coloma at the time and recalls when Steven disappeared. He rushed down to Benton Township to help.
I never thought, I thought by now that there would be some sort of solution, some more clues, more, I figured it'd be resolved by now. But here we are 13 years later, and we're still standing like we were the first day, not knowing what happened.
Steven and his family lived on Holly Street in Benton Township in a neighborhood called Benton Heights. Much of it has been demolished in favor of airport property. Even Steven's old house is gone.
This is a street that Steven lived on with his family.
Detective Lieutenant Brian Smith with the Benton Township Police Department is now in charge of this case. He says sometime between 7 and 8 p.m. on February 15, 2001, Steven went outside to play with his two dogs. He often played along his dead-end street or in the nearby woods.
He had went out, asked permission, was told to go out, stay in the area here, and that's the last he was seen.
Family and police organized ground searches of the area.
This goes all the way out to Blue Creek subdivision area.
Dive teams looked into nearby creeks and ponds after footprints were found.
Up in Benton Harbor, Michigan, police continue to search for 12-year-old Steven Kraft.
And Steven's case was featured on America's Most Wanted.
Steven is 5 feet tall and...
A couple days after he disappeared, one of his dogs came home. Another was found wandering a mile away. Still, no evidence of what happened to Steven was found. At a press conference shortly after he went missing, it was clear police were frustrated.
Honestly, there's no secret. We don't know what happened to Steven Kraft Jr.
And not a lot has changed.
I guess what I'm asking is, do you have any idea?
No, I don't think we do at this point.
Steven is still listed as a missing endangered child, but he would no longer be a child. This is the most recent age-enhanced photo of Steven. He would be 26. And while police call this case cold, it will never be closed.
It's frustrating that, we're into 14, 15 years now, and we're still at the beginning.
Steven's family continues to hope that he's still alive, but at the very least, they just want answers.
I'm not going to give up hope. I do believe that it can be solved.
Now, the trouble with this case is there's no physical evidence, but that doesn't mean it can't be solved. Police are looking for anyone who may know something. Even if you think they already know, they say, call. We've put contact information, of course, on our website at WSBT.com. Diane?
And Kristen, when Steven initially disappeared, I know there was some talk at that time maybe a family member could have been involved. What are police saying about that now?
Well, police said they've looked at the family as part of the investigation, and that's always part of an investigation like this. But they said at this point, the family is not the focus.
Okay, and when you think of a kid, you think of runaway cases. What about that?
Well, they say he was only 12, so that factors into it. And his family says he wasn't dressed for spending a significant amount of time outside, so they don't consider him as having been a runaway.
And so much time has elapsed. That neighborhood has been demolished now. What about clues? Could physical evidence have been destroyed, do you think?
I asked that question of police, and Jason, Steven's cousin, expressed concerns about that as well. Now, police said at the time that neighborhood was a main focus in their investigation. Now, we're going to put more information about this case on our website at wsbt.com, so you can check it out there.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Kristen.